Now, I asked my friend Mary from Ireland what fairy tales, ghost stories she remembers. Everybody might tell you of a haunting down the road or of a mound, but people have forgotten the old stories. This story is nearly 2,000 years old. It's come down in two ways. Peg Sayers, 1930s, this story was collected out west on the islands. And the collectors were amazed that the wonder tales were still told now. And the stories have also survived they were written down by the scribes, like 6th century. And who am I going to tell a story about? Finn McCool. Finn McCool is part of the warrior group, the Fianna. But they're not only warriors with fighting skills. They could be out here telling poems, ballads, musicians, wisdom. It was a dark, dark day. The Finn gathered up the men to go hunting. And they went up into the hills. They didn't find any deer. And what they hadn't noticed that the mist was slowly gathering all day. And towards night, when it was time to go, it fell like a heavy fog. And they couldn't see their feet. They couldn't see their hands. There was no way to find their way back. Finn said to his small band, "We'll have to rest." Well, there they were resting in the dark. And out from the dark came a white horse, saddleless, pawing the ground. Finn said, "I think we must follow this horse." And the horse turned and led through the marsh and the fern down. And after a while they could see a light. They said, "Who lives here?" Nobody knew of anybody that had money in this part. But the horse led the way right up to the door of this small cottage. It disappeared. So Finn knocked on the door. No answer. He opened the door. Very dark inside. There was a fireplace. And then they saw an old man by the fire. And he looked up and he said, "Oh, Finn McCool, I didn't expect to see you yet. Come on in, bring your men in." And they looked and they could also see along the wall there was a sheep tied up inside the cottage. But they warmed themselves at the fire. Then the old man, he said, "Well, you'd be wanting some food." And he clapped his hands. And a beautiful girl came from another room and started fixing the food. Oh, there was soda bread, and there was stew, and there was meat. And they were just about to go and sit at this long bench when the sheep broke from its tether, got under the table, lifted up, and everything went clattering to the floor. "Can you not keep my sheep in order?" said the old man. Oh, very, very flabbergasted. He went to tie the sheep up. He couldn't move it. 1 warrior, 2 warriors, 3, 10 warriors tugging on the sheep. He could not budge it. The old man stood up from the fireplace, and there was buckets of ashes falling from the folds of his pants. He came over, led the sheep back to the wall, and tied it up. Well, the girl started fixing the food again. And this time, they managed to sit down and eat. Well, you know, I've been with some of these wild Irish colonial boys. They've got a thing for the girls. These warriors were no different. And Finn thought, well, I'll try to talk to this girl. He had not said one word to her when she looked at him and said, Finn McCool, you had me once, you're not happy again. He didn't know who she was. No idea. He went and sat down. Well, Diamond tried. He thought, talked to the girl. Ha! You, young fella. I came to you once. I'll not come again. And so it was, through the evening, if any warrior tried to talk to the young girl, it was rebuffed. Finally, there was only one left. Ushin, the youngest, Finn's son. And he went to talk to the girl, and she smiled, and she took him by the hand and led him to the center of the room. And she said, well, now everybody, you'll be wondering what's happening. Let me tell you. The sheep is strength herself. So you brave warriors could not move strength. But the old man could, because he is death. Death can overcome strength. But as for me, I am beauty, youth. I come to you once, not come again. That she turned, span the table, the room, everything spun. Finn was back out on the hillside. He sat deep in thought, and the mist lifted. And he said, come men, on the way home, I'll not look for my youth again.